Yeah, it's okay.
Perfect.
Okay, that's a live one, huh?
Okay then, huh? Okay then.
That's a live one. That's good. That's good. Okay, so, on this one.
I don't know why it has so much space. No, this is not good. Wait, I'm gonna correct this thing.
I'll keep the YouTube on this one. And what does the screen look like here? Is this?
You maybe can lower it a little bit. Yeah, that's good. There you go.
Yeah.
Makes more sense. Less space than more space.
Okay, right there. How's that?
Good.
Woo! Okay, so what do you think? We don't.
She's cool.
Hey, come on, then. Don't worry about the noise. Come on.
Oh, what a beautiful blanket.
Okay, so what do you think? We already open?
Yeah, usual. Yeah, you.
Which is to.
Yeah, but just for the sake of, we better open. Yeah.
And maybe explain to the people. Oh, I should go get the feather.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll explain. Okay, for anybody who's with us right now, if you're on YouTube or if you're on the Facebook Live, we're going to get started on the Kanienkeha class in a minute. Just to explain, we have a bunch of people joining us today. They're here to discuss with us some other things, other issues, but they're going to sit in and observe what we do because we got other work that we're doing together. Anyway, so yeah, this is a bunch of people in here with us. Hey, it's really dark. It looks dark.
Yes.
It doesn't usually look that dark. I think it's just my. Is that too much?
It's not bad. That's good. But you.
I didn't bring them in. Where's the fella? Oh, okay. You know what? They're under the floor. Under the floor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So okay, let's forget about it.
Well,
the fella.
Little one.
Yeah. Where is it? Where did I put it?
Good question.
That fella we have. Where did we put it?
You got a whole bunch up there.
It's not in that bag.
I don't know where you put it.
What are you looking for?
The feather that we had a while ago, like passing around.
One of us sitting on it.
It's here.
It's here. It's right here.
I am the finder in my house.
All right.
We can see that. You want me to open it?
Go ahead.
Gwegwe, agwego, gunungwe, danarunungwe, skatne, gayangaha, gayanara saragoa. Edit yujit sista soko da naxota yanda disque panchita, sapotek ni hontage, mexican wenderista. Retahini yankina stadista, no toharage ganosesne, radinyangahaga gahnoage, no wis ni hontage, no arage gawanoge. Tenichi no orado ganunwa kereya queso, dano yankisota, santana kakaraqua, dano yankinista, yohonsage, danagüego, skatne, gunungwe. Tenichi no orado tareñuago, dano sawiska, tini, caña taragero. Agwego unuquasu wirisu sinuasu gatsatsu wasitana dano we contirio. Honeste osejera dano osera dano agwea donhet suahta ganio hundesas canawadarana. dano agwea kwatire Enera Saragoa, dano degeni de Yohade, Jagunsis dano de Ganawida, dano Wegodiane, dano Rodiane, Yohahio, Ganigoria, dano Gayandawana. Ayunkia da Genha dandawa no Hetsera Negasastansera Negunumwe, dano Gayandawana, Gasastansera Runumwe, dano Skana, Gasastansera, dano Garibo Warishunsera, dano Nogatena Yodoxa, Eresawet, Eresawet, Eresawet. Taganina Yotanisa Wanigura.
Yeah. Okay, the first thing we want to do is we want to apologize for yesterday. We know that we posted it online telling everybody it was canceled yesterday, but it's better to give an explanation. We had a thing we were doing yesterday in the city in Montreal. What was it? The Day of the Dead or something?
Yeah.
This is the people of the South have been doing this now for quite some time. Huh?
Years, yeah.
Anyways, we were there, and coming back from the city was just absolute insanity. The traffic was crazy. So we just couldn't make it back in time. So we're sorry for that. I mean, sometimes even when you planned, the best plans just don't work out. So sorry about yesterday. And again, here today, it's because we had a group of people here, and we had some very important things to discuss, but here we are now, so we're just going to go straight into it. We'll do like what we always do, so I'm just going to read it in English, and Wire Gilbert's going to go over it in Kanienkeha. So for the people that are present, just for that you know, the Great Law of Peace has been translated into English approximately about 150 years ago, maybe give or take. And the reason why that was done is because the chiefs and clan mothers at the time had seen that the people were losing the knowledge of the Great Law of Peace, that the colonization upon the people that just had so much destruction that the people have been changed almost completely, and therefore the knowledge disappearing. So they wrote it down. But the problem was, at the time, none of our people knew how to write. That, of course, the only people who knew how to write were the white people, the non-native people. And, of course, the only ones that would do something like that were religious people. They were Quaker, of a Quaker influence. So they were always referencing anything that was like spiritual, like reference to female, was always identified as male. So we're going through a process of correcting the knowledge, the way that you would speak of such things, to correct it, put it back in its proper matrilineal identity. Yeah. So we're taking words that are male dominant, and we're removing the male domination out of it, and putting back the proper words in English and in Kanienkeha. So this is what we're doing. So we're going to start from the top. Okay, so Wampum 84. When peace has been established by the termination of war. It's got to be an of there.
Nona skana. Yadiuri hoyadam. Suderio serondane.
Then the war chief shall cause all the weapons of war
Tone asere gorianer agwego nahoda idirio stakwa.
to be taken from the foreign. Okay, wait. It should be abstinent nations. Now, what would that do for the Kanienkeha?
What's the word abstinent?
The one that is not wanting to uphold by the
The one that's resistant, the hard-headed one, the one that just wants to continue in war.
Right in the middle, put the odiri darn. The odiri hodar.
And in that term, or in that wording,
Tiomzade. It's another nation.
okay, so is foreign? Well, foreign will be automatically be in there because it's another nation. Okay, all right. to be taken from the abstinent nation.
Wadikwa de hodiri hodarhum tiumzade.
Then shall the great peace be established.
Tone goana skana
Mhm.
gari wasiruni.
And that nation shall observe all the rules
Dano tiumzade hadiyana rasarasre.
and enjoy all the rights and freedoms of the great peace for all time to come.
Dano dewa dewa yana rasara gweniste. Dano dewa dewa neo goana skana. Jinio nehunwas. Jinio nehunwas. Jinio nehunwas. That's one of those difficult words.
For all time to come?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Jinio nehunwas. Jinio nehunwas. That's it. Jinio nehunwas.
Shall we put a break somewhere?
After the N, before the
Yeah.
H, there's got to be an E.
Sinyo.
Jinio.
Hmm?
Put at the H.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sinyo.
Nehunwas.
Nehunwas.
Okay.
Do it again?
That's it?
Yeah, we have just 4 really, really
Okay,
short.
we'll do it really fast then.
Okay. Now coming up. There you go.
When peace has established by the termination of war.
No skana. No skana ya diri hoya dam suderio serodane.
You know what? Take out, in English,
Mm-hmm.
take out the first word there, then, on the second line. We don't need it. No, not there.
Oh, which one then?
The second line.
Oh, here. Oh, so I was still on there.
Then, take out then. Not that. Does that change it any? Okay, when peace has been, you already said that, right?
Mm-hmm.
The war chief shall cause the weapons of war
Tone asere go rianer aguego na hoto yuderio stakwa.
to be taken from the abstinent nation.
On wadikwa teodiri hodahum tiumzade.
Then shall the great peace be established,
Tone goana skana gari wasiruni.
and that nation shall observe all the rules
Dano tiumzade hadiyana rasera sere. Hadiyana rasera sere.
and enjoy all the rights and freedoms of the great peace for all time to come.
Dano adawayana rasera gweneste. Dano dewenio. Dano odewayana rasera gweneste. Dano dewenio. Dewenio goana skana. Jinio ne onwas. Jinio ne onwas.
Okay, so we'll just follow you now.
What these words? That's one word you like almost never hear.
You don't say that anymore for all the times to come.
It's over your runs.
For all time to come.
Yeah. Nona skana.
Nona skana.
Yadiri hoyadam.
Yaderi wayadam.
Sundario serondane.
Sonderio serandane.
Tone asare goa.
Tone asare goa.
Royaner.
Royane.
Aguego na hoda.
Aguego
Aguego, wait, that just says agüe.
Aguego.
Aguego na hoda.
Yeah, aguego na hoda.
Aguego na hoda.
Yunderio stakwa.
Yoderio stakwa.
Awadikwa.
Wadikwa.
Teodiri hodarhum.
Tehodiri hodarhu.
Tiomzade.
Tiohunzade.
Tone goana skana.
Tone goana skana.
Gari wasiruni.
Angari wasiruni.
Dano.
Dano.
Dana.
Tiomzade.
Tiohunzade.
Hadiyana raserasre.
Ahadianerasere.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
Sorry. He's missing.
Ahadianerasere.
Ahadianerasere. Ahadianerasere.
Ahadianerasere.
Ahadianerasere.
To follow the path of the law.
Mm.
Dano.
Dano.
What? Otawayanerasere Gwenyeste.
Adewanerasere Gwenyeste.
Let's see. Oh, Odewaya. Odewa. IA. Right in there. Otawayanerasere Gwenyeste.
Adewayanerasere Gwenyeste.
Yeah. Dano.
Dano.
Dedewa that they were Yanio.
Dedewa. So like this?
No, just no, leave it away. I said it wrong.
Dewa
that they were Yanio.
Dewa that they were Neo.
Goana.
Goana.
Skana.
Skana.
Jiniu. New.
Oh my goodness, I'm not plugged.
How come you're not plugged in?
Jiniu.
Trying to kill us?
Jiniu. Neuus.
Thank you so much. Oh,
Edith didn't have her computer plugged in.
it's coming.
And if it dies before she plugs it in, the whole place is gonna explode. All of us will disappear.
We're saved.
Okay, let's say that last word again.
Jiniu. Neuus.
Siniu ne unwes.
Jiniu. Neuus.
Siniu ne.
Okay, after that NE, put 2 dots there. How's that? Is that okay like that? Okay. Ziniu Neues.
That's where the word came from, like Ungwe, which people say is Indian. It's not real. It doesn't mean Indian at all. It means a continuous being. All these people are continuous beings.
Ziniu Neues. That means continuous?
Yeah. For all
So
time.
it could mean perpetual.
Yeah.
So you could say that of somebody's heart. You could say the heart is that.
The heart never really dies because Christine put it in her
Put it in the baby.
We're
Yeah.
always,
Ziniu
we've all been, the heart you're living, the heart you have is not really yours. It's from somebody way back. But somebody told us it's our heart. We just loaned it. They loan it to us and we got to take care of it. It's our job.
So the thing about this, if we go back to the beginning,
Coming.
it's talking about when peace has been established by the termination of war. Now, you know that it's hinging on the wampum that was before this. And this is where it identifies an abstinent nation, a nation that you already approach to engage in peace, and they're abstinent to it, which means that, well, they're not just refusing, they're actually hostile to you.
Shooting it down.
So here's a hostile nation towards us that we propose peace, and peace would make them equal. And then once defeated in war, go back to the last line. Then they will enjoy all the rights and freedoms of the great peace for all time to come. So this shows that the great law of peace is, of course, it's a completely based on logic, and it's an intellectual weapon or intellectual tool. You go to war, the peace is your tool or is your weapon. So it's a matter of engaging in dialogue as to where you would defeat your enemy. It happens before it ever gets on the field, where it establishes clearly a person's legality or illegality. So it would make no sense for a foreign nation to remain to be hostile and abstinent, because at the end we give them all those, they're allotted all those freedoms anyways. So it's just to so that people don't take this out of context looking at this one wampum. You have to know that it's connected to the wampums before that's identifying it as a foreign hostile nation, which we already approached and offered them peace. They refused, gets to battle, they're defeated in battle, and then we offer them peace. So let's go to the next one then.
Okay, I just
Try to
have
get
to
as many
stop
covered.
sharing this one, and then go and share the other one. 85.
If you're on watching us on YouTube, you can't see the written wampums that we're reading off. All you can see is us.
Short and sweet.
So if you look on the Facebook page, you will see the Zoom that is shared, and you will see the text. The text is there. So it's just for the people who are watching on YouTube. We're sharing it on Facebook, but we're live YouTubing, so that's the only one that's not shared. But we can't do that many things because our computer goes.
Will explode for real.
Everybody will explode. Yeah, the Zoom. Yeah. Okay. Whenever a foreign nation is subdued or has, by their own will, comma, accepted the great peace, their Goa. Okay. Their own system of government may continue, but they must cease all warfare against all nations, against all other nations. Okay, in that one,
Okay,
Aderios.
reading them 1 second.
Mhm.
Between here is one other word. AKTE.
After the T? No, here?
Yeah, so not one whole word. That's
AK.
Hakte and space. Hakte is not the ones that then that's the other. Hakte is other.
Oh, okay.
In that Aderiosera.
Derios is it within battle or war?
Akte zit kahun zayandum.
But Akte, other lands.
Okay, does that, when you say that, does that include all other lands?
Well, just the ones that are not under the law, under the great law.
Okay, then it has to say all, because once a nation, where are we reading? Once a nation is defeated and they are brought into the great peace, they must cease all warfare against everybody, all other nations. So in that wording, is it necessary for Aguego?
No, Tionza Denu covers all other nations now within the law.
Okay.
That's
that
it?
We're going around.
That's it.
Yeah.
We could
Okay.
cheat a lot of times in Kanienkeha. Or sometimes I didn't hear that same word again, so we have a better word.
Yeah.
Because it's like the past. It's
Well-
like after a war, your enemies and you are city. And then you got to tell them what will happen. You wish will happen to others. So you sort of a whole different other war that's coming up, or you don't want to come up with it. If it does, you know the end result.
Yeah, it actually would be better for us to have as many different
Yeah.
words to one thing. You see a certain word, it's repetitive all throughout the law. It'd be better for us to have many different words for that.
It's going to be a good teaching tool in the end for the people who want to learn how to speak the language again.
Okay, so we'll just do it again. Huh? Whenever a foreign nation is subdued or has by their own will accepted the great peace.
Genoasta goanas kana goa.
Their own system of government may continue.
Okay, Jini Hudiana Rasero, the water. Yes. Yosawata Sudera.
But they must cease all warfare against
Next,
other. You know what? In English, put all between against and other. Against all other nations.
next, Yonakti. Odorissa Adriosera Acte. Jinadika Hunzayada.
Sitko.
Jitka Hunzayada. Acte, Jitka Hunzayada.
You know what? That's not good enough. It's not solid enough. It's not good to say against all other nations, because then it implies that they can continue warfare against some nations. So there, in just in the English, let's try this. Must cease all warfare against all put peoples there.
Against all
Peoples.
like this, just like this.
Take out other nations. Because what happens in this world a lot is that if it's not a nation, if it's not structured like a nation, let's just say it's a small group of people wandering across
Like
the
the
land.
Kurds or
Like that.
Palestinian people.
Well, there's a small group. They're not a nation. We could do whatever we want. Let's just wipe them out, and we don't have to care about whatever they think. So, against all peoples, does that change it in Kanienkeha?
Change it. Next, Odorissa Adriosera. Okay. Take all this out. Jinat Yudere. Western space and Western. Between all peoples.
Against.
Well, the against and between is the thing, right? So,
See, the thing here to take note of is that whether they are defeated in war or if they accept it in advance. We just said, hey, you want great peace? Yeah, okay. Or then there's the other one who doesn't accept it right away. They're defeated in war. Okay, so whether or not they're defeated in war, they accept it, they are their own system of government may continue. The only thing that changes is that they have to stop all warfare. So let's look at, just consider so-called United States and Russia. Supposedly, they claim two different systems. One is democracy, one is communism. When we know the reality, there's no difference between the two. Only a stupid person would believe that there's a difference. But imagine how they work in the world, in the non-native world. One country wars upon another, they subdue them completely. They cannot continue their own system of governance, which means their culture also dies. See, what's not identified in there is that we're talking about your system of governance can stay the same, which means your culture can stay the same. But when you change people's systems of governments, then automatically their culture changes. So, okay, there's something we got to add in there. Their own system of governance may continue, but they must see something. Okay, we have to define something here. Here's our government. And it's guided by our ceremonies, our ceremonial process. So their own system of government may continue. That's only identifying the second half of them. The first half of them is their ceremonial process, which is their culture. Their own culture and system of government. So for us, their own whatever. How would that be identified? The ceremonial cycle, the ceremonial process.
What is their culture.
Okay, then what?
On the path that they lived by. Is their culture.
I have this word in my mind. What did jado?
What did jado is things to be run in law.
Okay, so that's not right.
Okay, then right there. Things to be run in law, and there's things to be run in ceremony. Okay, right there, you know, the English take out and just put a slash, culture / system. Because this is where we can't understand, and the non-native can't understand where we're at odds right now, is that we don't separate our spiritual and our government, where they separate their spiritual and their government. So they got a government that has no moral guidance, no moral compass. So that's the reason why here we're in the English and the Kanienkeha where we're not really meshing. So we have to compensate in the English so the English understands their own culture / system of government. Okay, just for you sitting in here, when we say culture / system of government, are you understanding that that is your government and your, say, spiritual? What do you understand by culture / system? This becomes the reality. This holds a key here in the non-native world, that what you just said, it becomes the system is what's the word you just said?
But the way you actually framed it the first place was quite correct. You said their own culture and system of government. But if the word that you're trying to translate, because if you translate literally, or you want to give the sense, it's two different things. So I don't know what is exactly the meaning of the word underneath.
Okay.
Is it two things, or is
It's
one
one.
thing that is wood in
one.
this one? So
Culture and government is the same.
When you hear culture / to be,
it could be the fact that you want to distinguish, because in fact it's a nonsense to think that the system of government is not part of the culture, even if it's a borrowed culture. But the fact that you have said their own culture means that it's only something already peculiar, singular.
Mhm.
The system of government may continue. So even if you have and, I don't see where there is a contradiction. If you say their own culture and system of government may continue, it's quite accurate without the slash. The slash creates an ambiguity, but it may also give a sense that there is
And as a whole,
yes, there is no
culture and system as a whole, it maybe no,
Okay, do you get that from the slash or the and?
no, the
From the end.
From the and? Yeah,
And
okay.
as a
Yeah.
whole.
Yeah, okay. Take the slash out, put the and back.
no. But what she's saying is that
And
if you
as
said
a
their
whole.
own culture and system of government as a whole may continue, like now we understand it's the same entity.
Culture and
They
government as a
overlap
whole
each
is
other.
one idea.
Their own
Because it's
culture.
integrated. For example, you have used the word ceremony. Ceremony is just a moment of something that is more more holistic and bigger. So the likeliness in sociology, you would describe this as a symbolic system. But symbolic is lower than culture. So when you said culture, it actually captures everything,
Mhm.
including the system.
Including the system.
But
their
if
own-
the system of government is not there, like they have borrowed from another one, but here it's their own system.
Okay, you know what I think might make that a little bit more clear? Put it and or. Their own culture and or system of government. Because let's say if it's not an and, their own culture or system. Let's say if they got only one. There's just culture or there's a system. Because in the non-native world, all you got is a system. There's really no culture to it.
Yeah, that make a more profound nuance. Yes.
Okay, the in Kanienkeha, does that alter it any or?
Except if system and culture are woven as one entity in the sentence.
Well, then that would really depend on that, whatever that nation is.
And an or, aren't you creating uncertainty there?
No,
Kind of.
no, because
No?
it covers what both possibilities are.
Okay.
You're saying that means you have the first one, you have culture and system. Now, when you're using or, you're saying you either have culture or system. They might have only one of them, which we know is the reality. But this is to cover the possibility of that there's some who have both.
You were talking about the Russians and Americans. They're the same.
Mhm.
Because they proved last week when they went to kill that Islamic guy,
No, the
Oh.
ISIS.
right?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
ISIS guy is,
Mhm.
they said the Americans flew over Russian-held territory and they never shot at them. So,
Yeah.
so you know they were in on the whole plan. They made a false wall and they let them cross it.
Yeah.
So you know when you hear of Russians and Americans, it's kind of getting old, that story.
Well, that's Afghanistan. I mean, that Afghanistan, the way that it's been in the say the past 60 years, that's you could say that's the proof that Russia and the United States are one and the same, because it's good cop, bad cop. The Afghanistan people are exposed to good cop, bad cop. One time it's Russians, one time it's the Americans. Another time it's the Russians, another time it's the Americans. Same thing.
That's why he pulled out his troops.
And then the Russians went in right
He
away.
let them go in. That was to give a false sense of security to ISIS. They thought they couldn't cross over them, and all the while it was already it was in Plan A. False
Yeah.
flag. The story goes on.
Okay,
Anyway.
are we did we finish that one? No, right? Their own culture and or system of government may continue.
Okay, Tinihodiana Serodo, Wadu Yasuda Sodera.
Okay, so in Kanienkeha it's not altered when with the and or. Okay. But they must cease all warfare against all peoples.
Nekti, Onekti Hundurisso, Aderiosera, Tinate Hundere, Uwe Sua.
So again, this is the one thing where you look at in the non-native model. I don't care how far you go back a couple of thousand years. Their belief is that you attain peace through war because you subdue your enemy, and that way you control your enemy. You get your enemy out of their own system. You change them into your system. This is where in the non-native world they don't realize that all they're doing is perpetuating war because they're constantly creating enemies by a quiet subduction. They're subdued quietly, and that means internally it's rumbling within them, like you hear within the native
In
people.
Quebec,
Yeah.
it's a quiet revolution
Yeah.
that's been going on, right?
Okay, so we'll follow you then.
Okay, Nonatium Zade,
Non adiuhunzade.
Huadinera,
Ahun wadin nehera.
Dogalis,
Doganis.
Ohun Genoa Aste,
Ahun Genewaste.
Goana, Skanagoa.
Gowana Skanagoa.
Okay, Tinihudinagara Seroda,
Zino hudi
Nagera
oneraseroda.
Sinyohuzianera Seroda.
Awado,
Awado.
Yosuda Sudera,
Yonse wada sundara.
Yonze Wada Sudera, yeah. Nekti, Onekti,
Nexi Onexi.
Hundurisso,
Ahundurisa.
Aderiosera,
Aderiosera.
Tinate Hundere,
Sina de Yundere.
Nadeyundere,
Sina de Yundere.
Uwesu.
Hueso.
Wait a minute, wait. That word. Zinyat. Can you say that again?
Not that you did it.
Zinyat de Yundere.
See, because you're subduing the, the
Okay, Zinat. Between the A and the T, put a comma there.
but that's feminine. Not the
Zinat de Yundere.
not the other. See, there's that one point where when you're talking about a nation of people, you know, no matter who, if it's black people or white people, is in our language, the women rules. So we eliminate the male in a big decision, which in the European world, they won't allow that. Where we have to eliminate ourselves as men, even though we're writing it. Because I'm writing it and I'm a fluent speaker, I could gear it to where it's all male power. But that's what I'm trying to change. And sometimes you catch yourself because it's been a long time that we've been under male dominant power. So that's why I changed that word a while ago.
So what's the female there?
You. No, but we all males in the room become female.
So then this is, let's expand on this. This is against all the women's children, regardless of what nation, what she may be. Against. So we go back to where we said in an earlier wampum against about our mother's children.
So she's going as
They're against.
With that trimester, when we're all female, and then at one point we changed to male. Some of us changed to male, and some. So it's the female power. They're the ones that change us. How they do it, I don't know.
So it should be against
All the
descent.
women, put all the women's children there.
Descent. All the women descent. Like on tous les descendants. You know? Because instead of people,
yeah, but see that is
Okay, but they must cease all warfare against all. Take out the
All women.
all women's children. Okay. Okay. Well, in that way, right there, is that
Doesn't change.
doesn't change it? Okay. Put in brackets all peoples.
Oops.
All peoples.
that's a good
All the
Okay.
people.
Well,
Yeah, it has to be feminine.
it's the woman's
I mean,
children.
if we're coming under the great law, no ever at one point should there be a male dominant, even in one law. It can't be.
The male is never the root.
Mhm.
The female is the root. Okay. We did that already, right?
Yes.
Let's get the next one done then.
Okay.
Maybe we'll get all four of them.
80. Where are we? 7.
That's a very important. That's very
86,
important.
huh? Thank you. Thank you. Good thing you're there.
Okay. Whenever a foreign nation pushes war against the Confederacy,
None tiumzade yehotrege adeliosera o de gahumzanera ahona humzage.
how did you say it?
Ahona humzage. It's on the female women's land.
How did you say the?
Oh no,
No, the Dagahu.
the gahumzanera. That's the. It's like the United Nations, but the Confederate Nations are the.
To the point where they are almost exterminated.
Jiniore Yehowe Toha Gwego Ayo. Oh, ainda det one dam.
Because of its refusal to accept the Great Peace.
Neji wahadiri hoyake ahdiana gowana skona.
And if that nation shall by its abstinency become exterminated.
Nano da tium zage Runa dentista nirado amwanatute.
All their rights, property, and territory shall become the property of the 5 nations.
Agwego raudiana rasara ronawa raunawa dano umza keso. Angujena was the whisk not the gum zanara.
Okay. The problem there is what the second property. You see that? Go to the second property.
This one.
Yeah. We're going to take that out and put responsibility. Now, how does that change? Okay, you know what? Even that first one is got to be changed. Okay, just hang on a minute. Just listen to this before we do this. Okay, what is their property? What is our property?
Nothing.
We don't have any property. But then if we're looking at something that would belong to us, then we're talking about our culture. So the reality is, how come we have an alligator dance? How come we have the stomp dance, which comes from out west? How come we got the songs and dances that come from other people? Because the reality is when they were dying, they brought us their spirit to keep alive, meaning their culture, their identity. Now, if that nation, if they push it to the extent they know they're going to become exterminated, it becomes the circumstances that they're just abstinent. It's just a crazy suicide. So the fact that we extend peace first, we don't want them to disappear. We want them the same way, like what, remember when we were at St. John Baptist Society, we were in a meeting there one time, remember? And I was the only English speaking one, so they all spoke English. Remember this? And so they're all speaking English. We're in the St. John Baptist Society, and they're speaking English. And I felt okay until I went around once or twice. And then I says, hey, wait a minute. I says, this ain't right. I says, we're in your house here, St. John Baptist Society. I says, you should be speaking French. The reality is it's our responsibility to keep the other culture alive. Even if you're not keeping it alive in you, we have to keep it alive, because it's like your body saying that, well, if, let's say you're the left foot and your culture is to be the left foot. But let's say you forget about your culture. Well, it's important for the rest of the body that your culture remains, because we need the left foot. So this is the way of the great peace, is that it's our responsibility to keep those cultures going. So there, the first property, take out the first property, all their rights, culture, and territory. First property goes out because they got no property either.
What is the sentence means exactly? Are you translating the original?
What do you mean?
Yes, for example, instead of responsibility, it is your duty. Because what you explain is in fact your duty.
Well, after that, it becomes our responsibility if this is when it's in war. Because, like, again, I'll give the example of the body. Again, let's say she's the left foot. If she stops being the left foot, the rest of the body needs the left foot. So if she doesn't have the energy to put into that left foot, then it's the responsibility of the rest of the body to put that energy so that the left foot continues.
As the word culture in the previous sentence is not the same emphasis here. I wonder, we replace property by culture, but it's not the same word than culture earlier. So for any reader wondering, then what are you translating?
Yeah, it is the same thing, because all their rights, you see, what you're hinging on is that it was first property. When the reality, like we said to you earlier, when it was translated by a religious white man. So that religious white man turns it into property, where we don't have property. There's no property. What you may not know is that men cannot own land. That is an impossibility. We own no property. Nothing belongs to us. So Uh, forget about the word property being there in the first place.
I'm not relating to the word property. I'm saying the word culture.
Yeah.
When we were discussing religion slash and, it's not the same word.
Culture is ceremonies and all of that. Yeah.
It's what? What is it in your language?
It's the ceremonies. So after they give up their ceremonies, it's our responsibility to continue their ceremonies. No, that's all proper. That's it.
Because okay, Raudiana Rasara, that's referring to the rights, right? But
The
isn't
rights,
it?
the rights of their path on the Great Wall.
But isn't that male with Ra?
Yeah.
Shouldn't it be female?
Audiana Rasara. Just take the R out. Audiana Rasara.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, all the rights, culture, and territories of their mothers. Oh yeah, there you go.
Ogujenawaste, that's the mothers, the female line of the five joining nation.
Well, just with the Ayun Genoas,
Changes
just
a lot.
changing that fixes that. Yeah. Turns it to their mothers.
It was in English. It's always in English. The problem.
The English is a very big problem in the world. It changes everybody's language, English. All their rights, culture, and territories of their mothers, comma, shall become the responsibility of 5 nations. Okay. All right, later on we can fix it so that it all fits on one line. Okay, did we read all of that already?
Yeah.
So let's go to the next one.
We're not repeating it, nothing? We didn't repeat it?
Yeah, we better, right? We changed the words. We better repeat it.
Nona tiumzade,
Nona tiumzade,
Yehuntrege,
Yehundrage,
Aderiosera,
Aderiosera,
Tigahunzanera,
Degahunzanara,
Aunahunzage,
Onahunzage,
Signore,
Signore,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Toa Aguego,
Toha Aguego,
Ayun, Tate, Ayuntate, Wata,
Ayunta de Wantao.
Wait, before you go any further. Signore, the next one,
Yahweh,
Can you say that again?
Yahweh, Yahweh, it's nasal. Yahweh.
Oh, wait, there's no N? H-E-N?
Yeah. No, you actually, I could cut it off like that. Put an N there, though.
Where?
H-E-N.
Oh, okay.
Yahweh. Toa Guego.
Toa Guego.
Ayuntate Udam.
Ayuntate Udam.
Nekti.
Nekti or Netsi?
Neti.
Netsi.
Wahadiri Wayage.
Wahadiri Wayage.
Ahadiana.
Ahadiana.
Kawana Skana.
Kawana Skana.
Dano Da.
Dano Da.
Tiumzade.
Tiumzage.
Wait, did you say Zade?
Tiumzage.
Zage.
Arunaden Sista Nirado.
Runaden Sista Nirado.
Ahuana Tunde.
Ahuana Tunde.
Ahuana Tunde.
And then Aguego.
Aguego.
Audiana Rasera.
Audiana Rasera.
Okay, take the R out. Oh no.
Oh no.
Audiana Rasera. Oh no.
Oh no.
Dano Umza Gesu.
Dano Ohunsa Gesu.
Ugujena Wase. Ugujena Waste.
Angujena Waste.
Krishna Tagamutana.
Wisna de Gahunsana. Right.
You can do the last one? Might as well, right?
See how long it is.
Short one too? Isn't it short?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, we're doing a marathon.
Where's 87? 87? 87? All right.
Okay. Where's the top? I don't see it.
Okay, I'm gonna go just a little bit bigger with the zoom. Mm,
A bigger zoom?
a bigger
What's the
zoom.
matter with our zoom?
It's too small.
Our zoom is big
It's too small.
every Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Be there.
Or
Be there. Whenever a foreign nation is subdued,
No. Oh,
Nona tium zade, huadi neharo.
and the survivors are brought into the territory of the Five Nations Confederacy,
Dana yesona dadero.
and
Okay, yesona dadere. Take the N out. Dana yesona dadere. Toward the dahawe. Unjo hunzage wis not the hunzanara.
and placed under the Great Peace,
Dano. And what it's continue now, go on a scona.
the two shall be known as the conqueror and the conquered.
That's a rookwa. Ogadogaste, you do great that when you dano ruadi neharo.
Okay, wait a minute. You know that right there is the epitome of colonization, male dominance, religiosity. Right now, I'm gonna say put from conqueror to conquered. Put that in brackets. And not at this time, but that is going to be corrected. That is going to be, we're going to find the proper reference, keeping in mind that, of course, it is that because it's war. This is a nation that was abstinent, that refused the peace, that was a hostile nation and was defeated. So that is that, but the reference is not proper. So that we're going to change that reference. I don't think we're going to find that right now, though. A symbolic relationship shall be devised and placed in some symbolic position.
Agatogaste, zinate hundoro. On what they were in this zoom dano. Guaditero. Zinyo. Guaditero zino. Oh, zinio dinacto toha. Zinio dinacto tohage. Zinio dinacto tohage. Okay.
The subdued nation shall have no voice in the councils of the Confederacy in the body of the chiefs. Is that it?
Yeah.
That too shouldn't be male, right? Because are we talking only about the male chiefs here?
That's the thing. It's working with the English.
No, it's
Female?
should be rooted in the female.
Okay, take the R out and that's it.
Both of them?
Yeah.
And what about here? Because it's the subdued nation, in that case, it applies the male?
Yeah, that case it implies the male
Okay.
because it's a foreign hostile nation that refuses peace. So you know it's a male dominant. Okay.
Yeah, I'm coming
Wait,
out.
there's something. Let's do that one again one more time. Whenever a foreign nation is subdued and the survivors are brought into the territory of the Five Nations Confederacy, and placed under the great peace.
Dano ohodi wa ohodi skudunyu na guguanas gun.
The two shall be known as the conqueror and the conquered.
Zaroka agadoga, the Zaroka gadogas the Yuduguet that when you done or the Neharo.
Okay, wait a minute. We could find a word. Okay, the conquered is the ones with Jagusaze. I mean, the conqueror is the ones with Jagusaze. The conquered are the males that were on that warpath, and they disappeared. I think the key there lies in Jagusaze. The conqueror. The conqueror.
On the Yohahiyo, because
Well, you do get that too. That's somebody that disappears on the face of the earth. It's when you eradicate a whole, a whole peoples or a belief, but it's usually peoples do believe. So
Okay, what were. Okay, the conquered shall be the new faces. Let's just write this in English.
just besides.
Yeah. The new faces. The conqueror.
and you
Shall be known as the authority and the new faces. Let's just write that, see how this feels. So just remove that conqueror and conquered. Let's just feel this. The two shall be known as the authority and the new faces.
Gadogaste, Kayana Rasarata,
You gotta go? Okay, okay. We're almost finished. Well, you got 2 minutes?
Yes.
Finish this right away. We're almost done in a second here.
Gadogaste, Kayana Rasarata. Take that out. You get the zestis. You get the zest. You get the zesty. It's the new faces.
Oh, that's nice.
The two shall be known as the, here it's got to be in quotes, authority and the new faces. Okay, now, right now, off the top of my head, this is, I'd say, as close as we can get right now to Jagunsaze's time, where the turnover happened. We might find a better, more suitable reference for authority, but we're not going to find anything better than new faces, because new faces, that's right in the lines of Jagunsaze. This is all the people who come in under Jagunsaze. They're coming into peace. They're not coming into a subjugation.
Mm-hmm. They want it.
And there's the authority. Okay. How does that feel in Kanienkeha?
What we added.
Okay, did we already do the whole thing?
No.
We do it?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
We did. This is the second time we read it.
No, we didn't read it. Oh, okay, yeah. This is the second
We
time.
did it in the Mohawk?
Yeah, but not repeated though. What are you asking? Read it the second time or repeat it?
What?
Because you usually read it 2 times and then we repeat it, meaning it's 3 times.
Repeating would be done 2 times. That's called repeating.
You didn't get at all what I was saying.
Yeah, I know I didn't. Okay, how about if we just do? We did the whole thing, that wampum. How about if we just do that line? The two shall be known as the authority and the new faces.
Tezarukwa gatogaste kainarasara yuwetazesti.
Dezarun,
Tezarukwa
Dezarukwa,
gatogaste
Angadogatste,
kainarasara
Gayanerasara,
dano yuwetazesti.
Dano Yungweta Setsti.
Okay, I'll tell you right now that this it's got a funny feeling. But like I said, we're going to find the proper reference for this right here, authority and the new faces. It's got to mesh. It's got to be understood. So once we get, it might not be just one word. It might have to be a couple of words to really get that proper sentiment. So for right now, it's going to stay like this. It does not mean that it is finalized. This part is not finalized. So put at the bottom of the page, the reference of authority is not finalized.
Oops.
Yeah. It's an ugly thing because no matter what, it's a matter of that somebody came, they're an abstinent nation, they're hostile. Somebody's coming, they're pushing you, you say, hey, don't bother me. But they keep pushing you, and then you beat the hell out of them. You know, afterwards, there's a reality of the new relationship that exists there. You know, you subdued them. So it's an ugly male dominant thing, but it's a reality.
The word abstinent they use is obstinate.
Yeah, because you have been saying abstinent, like they are abstaining, but it's obstinate, like they are
That's
hard-headed.
what we wrote, though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just what you're saying.
And the ruler here is the authority.
Well, there is, in this case, there is no ruler. It's the law.
English is
It's the law that's the authority.
I'm still not colonized.
Okay, so what we're gonna do, since you have to get on your way, we're gonna close up really fast, and we could say our goodbyes, and then that's it. It's really good though today. It's really good. Let's really break through.
Only years ago, I was told that we can't go out the road and keep any more cigars, and then you can't out the army, you a day, you can. And I did it, and the rest of that go and meeting really what the judge and I young rest of doing it in Uruguay, or the other can not so no bother. Then we are the chair of the Kili Stone Woods, and I work in a hotel, you could get a change a day. That's kind of thing you could just to so. And although you could be the serious to going to you, I can make on your parents, okay, and we are in a quick minute, you got so many going to English of the yard, the conquerors, you can assess and then a quick on a Kanienkeha Class. Men om har ju varit så den har ju ora den stisa där också så jag den. Det har kan på att se ju till någon det blir att jag. Men vi har det håll i när på skolan så ni ser så att jag tar ju till någon det så att ska run. Jag hade 20 år så det blir att gå in i det här så det blir vi ska kunna på ett så har det på kurs och på den så det blir så kunna. Jag går och ni thank you see. Gracias.
Yeah. So everybody that was with us, watching us on, if you're with us on the Zoom, you are always here, and y'all will go to use, just so that you are aware again that of the people that are here, that we're very thankful for everybody that is here, because even this limited, when you know like how long we've been doing this, participation we've had very limited. It's like not even 0.1%. But the participation that you had in this was very valuable, very crucial, because as you see, the things that we're adjusting is concepts. And we have male dominance has given false concepts to everyone in the world, even the people who are, let's say, if there still are matrilineal, the fact that there's so much male dominance around, they're affected also. The concepts, the perceptions, the realities are altered so much that, again, especially in the English, when we use the English, it distorts all languages on earth, because then that person who comes from, let's say, Kanienkeha, we use English. That English, once we use it, it's like a residue stays on us and comes back into our language and alters our language, alters our understanding. So again, this process can be utilized like a template for all peoples to get back the true sentiments, the true meanings of their languages. Because right now, and why Gerda knows this to be this way, people are speaking or teaching what they call Mohawk, and they're saying a word that means one thing to Wayagirdo, but it means something else to them. So this is a reality. So we have to not comprehend. We have to be cognizant of that. This is what has happened to the people of the world through the English, not the English people, the English. The knowing that any language, anything that we use, even if it's not a language, even if it's just a wooga wooga, we know that that's a communication, and that communication could become distorted, could become therefore controlled, manipulated into, when you are thinking going left, you'll actually be going right. So this process is a template for everybody to utilize, and it could go into other countries for any peoples to utilize to get their true language back. Now, this is something that people may not even know has to be done, because let's just imagine the people who's in whatever language, let's just say, okay, their mind is subdued now by English, but they believe they're speaking their language. They may not know, they may not realize that, hey, a lot of their meanings, a lot of their understandings have changed. So even for anybody who doesn't realize, it's a matter of that. We should all be aware that if you're exposed to cancer, you should take the medicine to heal cancer. If there's, let's say there's 10 of us in this room and cancer walks in, well, one of us can say, well, I don't have it. You know, if we're all here in this room and cancer walks in, well, then we all better take the cancer medicine. We can't just go continue in this world thinking or believing that we are all right. Because this is what's wrong with the world. The whole world thinks they're right. Because if not, we wouldn't be hell-bent on the processes that we are locked into. We would entertain, at the very least, the concept of that, well, maybe we're wrong. At the very least, we should entertain this in all things every day in order to see the opposite. Entertain, I am wrong in what my position is, because right off the bat, we all have a position on everything. Everybody has. So the first step we should take is to look from the opposite. And this will give us the ability to consider the other. And in considering the other, we'll say, now we'll go to all of you. Very good, even if you're just sitting there nodding your heads. That's helping, that's assisting the whole thing. As you know, we depend on this, whatever, like all of us working together to get to whatever truth we're working towards, common truth. So now we'll go to everybody. We have to say our goodbyes here to everybody. So we'll see you all in the Mohawk class. We'll see you next week. But if you're here, what else? We'll see you on Wednesday. All right.
Hola.
Hola.
Oh, yeah.
You see the
Yeah.
perfect timing.
Oh my God.